So let's talk about education in the US. Who are we talking about? What does our student enrollment look like? There are 50.7 million students in public schools in the United States. You can see the breakdown between kindergarten and then high school age. And I would like to point out that of that roughly 51 million, 3.3 million, or about 7%, are in charter schools. And I point this out because sometimes in policy, we spend a lot of time talking about the more unusual setup or a different way of approaching things, and that takes up all the oxygen in the room. So that's kind of a helpful way to put it back in context to say, okay, when we're talking about these programs, what percent, how many students are we actually talking about? So when we talk about public schools in the United States, and definitely in Nebraska, we're usually talking about traditional public schools. Nationally, there are about 5.7 million students in private schools. So 10% of the students in school in the United States are in private schools. 25% of all schools are classified as private schools. So if you look at that number, there are fewer students in more schools, and that has an impact on the student to teacher ratio, access to resources, things like that. So that's just a helpful piece of context. 66% of private schools nationally are religiously affiliated. And again, being in the Midwest, particularly in Omaha, I was surprised. I thought that was kind of low. But then when you think about the history of a lot of the boarding schools and private schools on the coasts, it made a little more sense.